Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome to my new series called Beat the Box. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you everything I got in last month's Boxycharm, which was April. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of everything I got. I'm going to give you a mini review on everything, and then I'm going to show you what I got to see if I could beat the box. So after I show you guys what's in both of the boxes, I'm going to try all the products on. So stay tuned to the end so you can check that out as well. Everyone always talks about, oh, you know, these boxes are so great, you get so much for your money. But then there's the other theory of, well, if it's not stuff that I really want, is it really worth it? And yeah, you might get $100 worth of stuff, but if there's only one item you actually like, what is worth it? And I started thinking about this, and I took your guys' feedback from my community tab, and someone said, I'd love to see what you would get instead. And I was like, bing, all right, let's do it. So today I have gone through discount makeup stores, TJ Maxx, Five Below, looking for awesome items that I would purchase and see if I can make a better box than Boxycharm. Are you guys ready? So I did give myself a little bit of leeway because there's like tax and things. I was able to spend under $25. Boxycharm is $21-ish, so there's going to be a little bit of leeway there. I'm not going to be so strict with it that it's like, oh, I can't get this bomb item because it's 50 cents over. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm topping it off at $25 versus the $21 box, because I know some people, especially out of the US, would probably pay shipping charges. So I'm just leaving it there. But I did my very best to see if I could beat Boxycharm. So you guys have to let me know down below who won, me or Boxycharm. So first off, let's talk about what's inside my box. So this month's Boxycharm had several different palettes from Colourpop. Had a My Little Pony palette, a You Had Me at Hello palette, and the Golden State of Mind. So this shadow palette is definitely for somebody who likes a pop of shimmer. These can be a little bit chunky, they can be a little crumbly, but oh my goodness, if you like shimmer, these pack a punch. Now some of them are more glitter and some of them are a little bit more metallic, but overall I felt like they were very good shadows for that type of shadows. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like chunky, glittery shadows or someone who only likes mattes, you're not going to like this because that's not what this is. The color payoff of most of these shades was really good, and overall, I was really happy with this palette. So I did swatch this whole thing on my Instagram, so if you guys are interested, put my social media here. You guys can check it out if you want to see the total swatches. But this is really pretty. One thing to note though, you can see like on a shade like this right here, that's where you're gonna get a little bit of this more crumbliness. You can see in the pan there, when I touch it, it's just a little bit more loose, but they are super beautiful and super pigmented. This palette normally retailed for $26. It is on sale for $20 on the Colourpop website. So something I do notice in Boxycharms is I tend to find that a lot of the things we get are things that are being discounted. And that's the other thing that kind of spurred this idea, is like, hey, if they're discounting things and putting them together in a box, why can't I do that? Remember when we got the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2? That one was like, oh, it's a $40 palette, but they clearanced it out at Sephora at $16. So you can see kind of where I'm going with that. So the next thing was a pricey item. Here's the thing, is I have gotten a good skincare routine down, and I really don't have a lot of blackheads. I have rosacea, I have sensitive skin, but the area of concern for me is not blackheads. Now, I did try a little bit of this on the corners of my nose right here, between my eyebrows and on my chin. I was really careful not to put on my cheeks because they're so sensitive. And although I do have bigger pores in that area, I feel like I do a decent job covering with just a pore primer and foundation, that I didn't really feel like this made a huge difference. I don't really need to like pull a bunch of blackheads out because I really don't have a ton. And so even though this is a nice expensive product, it's not something I'm probably going to reach for a lot, and it's not something that I would ever purchase on my own. So next I got the Tarte Pro Glow Liquid Highlighter. Now I believe that I actually included this in an anti-haul, so that tells you this is not something that I was drawn to buy. This is super shimmery. This is in the shade Exposed. And although I do like this, it's something that is more of a nighttime shimmer for me because it is really intense. I do like this as a high value product, but for $29, I don't think that I would purchase this. So although I enjoy it and it's a nice name brand, it's still something that I probably wouldn't have purchased at this price point. I don't know if this was a huge seller, so I don't know if that's why it was in Boxycharm, because I don't remember a lot of people talking about this or raving about it. I remember seeing it mentioned as it was coming out, but I don't see any influencers being like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And sometimes there's hidden gems that just aren't talked about, but I just don't know. Someone mentioned, I did open my Boxycharm on Instagram Live, so hello if you guys tuned into that or saw that. But someone did mention that I could use this like on my collarbones. This is the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks, and this is a tinted brow gel. Now, I thought this was going to be too dark for me, but I honestly like this way better than I thought, and it does a really good job of filling in my brows. So this is a product that I probably would have not been excited about, but once I started using it, I was like, I actually like that. Like, I like it way better than I thought I would. So this was kind of my surprise dark horse in the box that I really enjoyed more than I thought that I would. And last but not least is the Ades High Definition Liquid Lipstick. Now, this is not a dry down matte liquid lipstick. It's literally a liquefied version of a lipstick. It's creamy, it is shiny, but these more brown toned lipsticks just give me more of a fall vibe. It's not my favorite color. I like more pinky tones. So although I was excited about this, I wasn't like over the moon about it just because it is really nice and neutral. Don't get me wrong. I can see why they would include this because it's so universal. I feel like it would look beautiful on a lot of skin tones. It's just not my personal preference. So these sell on the Ades New York website for $24. This is not something that I would purchase. One, for the price point, I feel like I can get really good lip products for way less. And two, Ades is not a brand that I'm familiar with. So for me, it could have been drugstore high-end. I wouldn't have known the difference. So this isn't something that I would ever seek out and purchase myself. All right, so let's get on to what I found myself. So let's start palette to palette. So I found this Be a Bombshell palette at Five Below. And I did not know if this was like more drugstore high-end, but I did remember that I had a Be a Bombshell blush that I got in Ipsy years ago that I really, really liked. So I was like really excited. This was $5. There's 24 glitter shades. I tried to look up and see if this was online, and honestly, I saw a few reviews that people who had found it at Five Below. I think this was a holiday palette that they brought out for Five Below, but I cannot find this anywhere else on the internet. So I do not know if it was normally sold at a different price and then they just sold it at Five Below for $5 because they're clearancing out. I have no idea. Here is the palette. So, of course, I have played with this. I put it on the eyes, and it actually has a pretty good wear time. I would say overall, the shades in this palette are more metallic and not as glittery and intense as the Colourpop. The Colourpop definitely has more intense shades, but this has more shades to choose from. Okay, for those of you who were looking at that KKW with the pop of blue and everything else, just look at this blue. Little swish. They are insane. So if you are someone who loves those blue shades, this was an awesome find. Now, my critique on this palette is I would say all the shimmers in here are about a B. All the colors are about a B. You know, it's like they're okay, but there are a couple of complete duds that I'm like, why would you even put this in a palette? This shade right here, this purple shade, it literally has zero pigment. Like, this one below it, the purple below it, has a little bit. Here's the purple shade below it, a little pigment, and then here's the dud. I mean, I don't know how this got past production to be a shade. It literally is nothing. You could have just had an empty pan there. It would have been more useful because you could have put something else in there. But overall, when I touch these bronze shades and these golden shades, I was like, oh my gosh. That is in this palette, and it is $5. This turquoise shade, also very pretty. Now, when I put these side by side on my eye, you'll see this when I show you the demo, I did find that these were less metallic and less glittery as the Colourpop, like I stated. But I also thought there might be some people who prefer this over the Colourpop because that was just like gleaming. So I'm going to try to produce similar looks with both palettes so you guys can see which one you'd like better. So this time I was only able to get 4 products, but I think sometimes I'm like, you know what? I want to switch it up. Like this time I got 4 products, but there might be some times that I want to get one high-end palette instead of this whole box. So I'm going to be doing different things every time, and I might do this every other month or every month. It really just depends how much you guys like this. So that's the other thing I need to know. How often do you want to see this? Every month, every couple months, once in a great while? You let me know, and that way I know how often to do this. So next, from TJ Maxx, I got the Lorac Tantalizer. So this is a highlighter and bronzer. I paid $5 for this. Beautiful rose gold packaging. Never been touched, never been swatched. Beautiful bronzer for more fair skin and a more natural highlighter. This is definitely not crazy pigmented, but it gives you a nice natural highlight. So for those of you who do not like the very intense highlight, this will be a perfect combo. I love that this is so easy for traveling. This is perfect for makeup bag because I can put this one compact in, have a highlight and bronzer in one thing. And I feel like there is big enough pans that I can get a little brush in there. It's small, but it's still workable. Like a nice balance between being small enough and not too small. So, and it has a mirror inside, which is a great, awesome benefit as well. I'm not really sure who is pricing this stuff at TJ Maxx, but I'm not going to argue with them because this is saying compare it $7. But from what I can see, this little duo is on their Lorac website for $33. So next at TJ Maxx, this is the one thing that put me a little over my price point. I originally had a Too Faced Creme de Cream lipstick that would have kept me right at $21, but I did opt to spend $2 extra to get the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I got this for $8. So this color is way more up my alley. This is in the shade Catnip, and these I think are about $22. I don't know if this shade itself has been discontinued, but honestly, I don't care because it's a beautiful shade. I've been wanting to try these for a while. I love that it's Anastasia. It's cruelty-free. It's just awesome, and $8 is something I feel comfortable spending on it. That is like something I'd pay for Revlon or Maybelline, which I wouldn't buy those, but that's a drugstore price point. I mean, you get some L'Oreal lippies that are getting above $8. So I'm like, yeah, TJ Maxx, $8, totally living for it. So I wanted to get one different item because I feel like a lot of times in Boxycharms we get like a skincare or makeup brushes or something else kind of like that. So I found at Five Below this unicorn brush set. So I'll be honest, I bought this for Instagram because I think they're freaking cute. I don't think the quality is going to be like this top notch, but I have seen brush sets like this sell for way more money. I just thought these unicorn handles were super cute. They have the little rose gold barrels. They have the multicolored tips. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw I just sprayed these out in a couple of my photos. And that's really, to me, what I wanted them for. But do I think that they'd be useful? Yeah. I mean, I would equate these to more like the $1 e.l.f. brush line. So $4, $1 each with an extra $1 because they're more fancy. I mean, I still feel like they're not worth a ton of money, but I was still excited to find these at their price point because I feel like these can be priced higher just based, not even on the quality, but just the style of them. But everything that I purchased, I like and I am excited to use. So that's where it's like, Boxycharm or what I bought. All right, so let's get into trying the product. Neither palette has a mirror, so I'm going to grab another mirror. So I'm just going to quickly kind of show you how these colors look. So I'm going to start off with just using my finger because I feel like these creamy shades work the best that way. And I am going to start on this side of my face. I'm just going to dot some of this more burgundy shade on the outside of my eye. Again, this is not like a tutorial. This is just literally me showing you what the product does. Next, I'm going to take this golden shade right here, and I'm going to go right in the center. I mean, this is kind of how I use all Colourpop, the Super Shock Shadow, so I don't mind using my finger for it. Blending that in, and quickie. Then I'm going to take this light shade right here and pop that in the inner corner. You can see this is my chunky monkey friend that has the fallout. So I want to include this so you guys can see. It's very, very pigmented. It almost looks liquid wet, but you can see I'm going to have some glitter fallout from that. So, but I mean, that is a fierce, fiery eye. I mean, if you are someone who loves shimmer. So let me go into the Be a Bombshell. This also does not have a mirror, which for the price point, you know, you can understand. So I mix a little bit. I'm going to mix this shade here and this shade here. And go on the outer corner here. They definitely aren't as creamy to the touch, but I feel like they do build up a nice color payoff. Next, I'm going to go into this golden shade right here. This one is a nice creamy one. And go over the center. And then I'm going to finish off with this light shade right here. Definitely is not as chunky, but I still think you can get some nice brightness out of it. It's a little more on the silver side. Okay, so let me see if you guys can see what I'm talking about. Do you see the shine you're getting from Colourpop that you're not necessarily getting from this? But I don't know that it's necessarily like a deal breaker, you know what I mean? But this one definitely has more sheen. So of course it's gonna look funny because not all the products match up, but it's all about showing you what they do. So here's the Brow Gal. I mean, it is a little dark. I probably would be interested in maybe getting a little bit lighter shade, but look how fast that was. Like, I'm just like, whoa. And I don't have to flip out, you know, the spoolie and cap and everything. It's just like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm good. So a little bit of the highlighter. That was probably too much, so I'm just going to barely dab it on. I mean, this is like, it is intense. I love this for a blinding highlight. Like, if you want to be beaming seen from outer space, I think it will be amazing. If you've got texture issues and acne, I would say probably not your favorite highlighter. And let's go with the lip products on the other side. So this is the Ades, and I'm just going to put on this lip. So honestly, it is a very pretty shade. I think it goes with this eye look better than the pink's gonna go with this one. So we're just kind of judging on the fact that this isn't a cohesive look. Okay. All right, so let's try out the bronzer duo. So here is a close-up of how it looks. I feel like it's a really good color for me and my skin tone. Now going into the highlight. It's definitely a little lighter peachy tone, but it is super natural. Like, this is something where it's like you want to have undetectable highlighting that just makes you look glowy but doesn't make you look like you're wearing highlighter, and that's what this is, which I do think there's a time and a place for those kinds of products. All right, let's get this liquid lipstick on. All right, I'll give you guys a close-up look. We've got the brows, the mask, which is somewhere in my house, Colourpop eyeshadow, and the highlighter and the lipstick. And then here's the Be a Bombshell, the Lorac highlight and contour, and the Anastasia. So now I need to know, guys, did I beat the box? Let me know down below what you think. It's fine, whatever you think either way. It's just fun, and I just think it was an exciting challenge to do. So if you guys want to try this challenge, I would love for you guys to do it, and let me know, and I'll go check it out. And it doesn't have to be Boxycharm. You could literally get any box you want, Ipsy, anything, and you would just pick, you know, $10 and then $12, whatever you want, and see if you can beat your box. All right, thank you guys again so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!